Happy New Year. We're going into 2025. Okay, can I just say, I feel like I was just sitting here like a few days ago talking about going into 2024, and now it's 2025. I feel like a lot has happened towards the end of this year, but I don't feel like I got a lot of the things done that I wanted to get done this year. But still, we're going to go right into that, okay? So, the whole weight loss thing, the whole low carb thing, all of that, how is that going? Well, after I had my surgery, not 2024 January, but 2023 January, everybody knows that I gained 15 pounds that I hung on to that whole year. Well, in 2024, I proceeded to gain another 15 that I hung on to for most of that year. And I was very sad. It put me in a very dark place. I was having lots of issues with my stroke side. And I was starting to feel like at 4.5 years going into my stroke that I wasn't getting any better. It wasn't going to get better than what it was. And I was getting into a little bit of a depression. I wasn't feeling good. Just overall, it was kind of a bad, dark place for me. It was a bad moment, bad place to be. In August, I had discovered Labri products, Labri skincare products, and started using them. It felt like I was looking younger. It felt like I was looking better. My skin felt better. So it gave me something positive to think about rather than all the defects that I felt my body was having. And I felt like it was having a lot of them. And truthfully, I was very worried about the defects that I was noticing and tracking. Yeah. So let's move forward a little bit more. In the very first of August, the first week of August, a good friend of mine, somebody I've known for since like 2012 or 13 or 11, somewhere back in those days, I knew of him. We didn't ever get like into a friendship thing, but we got into a knowing who each other was and getting to know about each other. Because of another company that we were both involved in. Well, I was looking at some stuff that he was posting, and I reached out to him because something caught my eye about helping brains when they've had traumatic incidents, and a stroke is a very traumatic incident. And then also I saw where he was talking about peptides, and it just so happens that in the last few years I've done a bunch of research on peptides because at one point my husband was going to pay $10,000 for me to get a shot in my brain that could or could not bring me out of all the symptoms of my stroke. This guy had miraculous things happening with the people that he was doing it with, but he wouldn't make any guarantees. And $10,000 is a lot of money, and I'm not the Kardashians, so I can't afford that kind of stuff, right? And I just wasn't willing to take a chance on having him turn me upside down on a machine and shoot something into my brain that was a synthetic drug. It wasn't even a natural drug; it was a synthetic drug. And I don't know. I didn't want to. But I did research peptides. I researched on how could we get them from food? How could we get them from nature? How could we get them from other sources? And it just never seemed like something feasible that I could manage to fit into all the natural things I do. So fast forward again to my friend. And so I started talking to him. We were talking back and forth about the peptides and what they were doing. And by the way, this company isn't even on the market yet. They haven't even officially launched. And I had a chance to get in for nothing. I mean, it was completely 100% free. It still is, by the way. It was completely 100% free to get in, to have a back office. I don't pay anything monthly for anything unless I want products. And it was just a very simple thing to become a founding member. So I was like, why not, right? I didn't have any expectations. I wasn't hoping for anything or anything. Well, when the products were finally released and we were all trying them and stuff, not only did I notice that, oh my God, I'm not slurring and stuttering and I'm not forgetting what I'm about to say, and my focus was better. My mind was better. Everything, my speech was better. All these things were better. I was writing better, clearer. So I was like, okay, I'm liking this. But I also started losing weight. And I wasn't just losing weight. I was smoothly losing weight. Something happened and it turned off that switch in my head that was always food focus. It was always a food noise, always going on. I could be sitting here doing a video talking to you at the same time that the food noise is back here going, Susan, I'm doing this video. I got to go there and see what I can make to eat. Blah, blah, blah. It was a constant food noise, right? My whole life, ever since I was at least 8 that I can remember. All of a sudden that food noise was shut down. And now I'm talking to people. We're in groups and stuff. And I'm talking to people. I'm like, is this happening to you? And it is. It's happening to lots of people, right? So I decided that I would be a sharer of these products. And I started sharing them with all my friends and people I know and people in our weight loss groups and just everybody and anybody, right? I talk about these peptides a lot. Not everybody's interested because to them it's just one more thing coming by in the long story of things. And I so get it. I so get it. I've taken everything since way back in the FemFin days all the way to now, right? To the peptide days. So I so get it. I do. And a lot of people want really fast results. I personally had really fast results. I'm not sure why. I just did, but not everybody does. And I could see that it's like a few people have tried and said, no, this isn't for me. I'm not seeing results. And it was only in, within 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. I'm thinking, I've been doing it for 2 months and I'm still seeing new stuff popping up. Firm believer in them. Okay, so I just want to tell you that because I want to fully disclose that my weight management, weight maintenance, the last of my weight loss, everything is kind of because of these peptides in my eyes. It's making it easier for me to choose to only eat good foods because I got I got lost there for a while and I was eating crap again. I was adding things back to the diet that I knew I shouldn't have been, but I wanted it. I was figuring, what the hell, nothing's working anyway. Now I've got everything pinpointed back down again. It's so much easier for me to go, oh, well, I'm not mentally hungry, but it's time for my meal. So I'm going to have a meaty chicken cutlet, which is so phenomenally great for you. I'm going to have that, and I'm going to have a side of asparagus or Brussels or broccoli steamed with no butter or anything. I have not wanted fats for some reason, which I thought that was kind of weird because I've always wanted the fake mayonnaise, the fake butter. I just always wanted the fats. And it's funny too that I had decided I was going to cut out the fats this coming year, and I was only going to use really expensive Moroccan olive oil because it's supposed to be really good for other things too. So I had already determined that I already talked to my husband, said we're getting rid of the butter, the mayonnaise, all this stuff for the year. I'm going to make my mayonnaise out of my base, stuff like that. So it was just weird that all of a sudden I didn't want the fats. Not only was I determined to give them up, but I didn't want them. Do you guys know, I don't know how many of you guys know how bad my peanut butter addiction is, but do you know that I haven't had peanut butter for 60 something days? I can't remember what my exact date is. And I haven't even thought about it and I don't even care. This is coming from somebody who could eat a jar of peanut butter in a day. And I know you think that sounds like bullshit, but I've ate a 12-ounce jar of peanut butter in one day before. Yeah, done it, been there, did that. My mom could too. My mom could mix a jar of peanut butter with like a little bit less than a half gallon of vanilla ice cream, make a peanut butter shake, and she would eat on it until it was gone. So peanut butter addiction runs in my family. But I don't even think about peanut butter. I don't want peanut butter. I don't think about peanut butter. I'm just like, peanut butter. Not that I hate peanut butter. I don't hate it. I just don't care one way or the other. There's nothing I really specifically care about right now, which does not mean that my food does not taste good when I have food, because it tastes phenomenal. It tastes so good. It tastes so fresh and explodes in my mouth. So I'm enjoying when I eat. I'm just not hungry for a lot of stuff. So I've got myself pared down. I decided I'm going to do this 10-day. It's called the Basic 10. I should have wrote it down for you guys, but I'll put it in my in the bottom of this later. My Basic 10 is like my I'm not going to eat prepared foods this year, or not prepared foods. I'm not going to eat the faux meats this year. So I'm going to be eating more tofu, the pea crumbs, because all they are is dried peas. So I'm going to eat the pea crumbles. I'm going to eat, what was the other thing? Well, I've got a few things listed, and I will share the list with you later. I've got my basic veggies that I'm gonna be concentrating on, and the only not low carb thing on my list right now is butternut squash. I love it. Gonna have it occasionally. It's on the list. Okay, that's gonna be my one treat to myself. My husband wants sweet potatoes on his. That's great. Sweet potatoes are great for you. That's his. Mine is butternut squash. So we each have our little thing. Everything else is really low carb, and broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels, easy stuff, right? So we've got our Basic 10 we're working on. I am thinking about training for a 5K. I know. Couch to 5K. I know it sounds wild, right? I've had the worst limp and not been able to hardly walk at all for the last 4.5 years, but my limp is getting better. I'm walking better. I mean, my limp is pretty much gone most days, and I've already ran. There's a short video on my Facebook page where I ran a couple times that day. It was just like, holy shit. So I just want to try it. I'm 63. I just want to see if I can. Why not, right? I had a really terrible fear for a long time that I'm coming up on my 5th year since I had the stroke. And I've heard that people don't live past 5 or 6 years with this kind of a stroke. And I've had a lot of fear around that, but I don't feel that way right now. I feel like I'm back. The old me is back. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to make 2025 a year like I haven't had in so many years. This is going to be my defining year, I've decided. So come along, if you're interested. The channel is going to be changing somewhat because I don't want to focus so much on losing weight. I want to focus on what do we do after we've lost the weight? What do we do to replace the weight? Okay, so here's an example. When I was a smoker and I quit smoking, I realized that I had 3 to 5 extra hours a day. That is not a lie. Every cigarette takes 10 to 20 minutes to gather your stuff, go outside, get your spot, smoke your cigarette, put it out, clean it up, and go back in. Anywhere from 10 to 20, depending on how much time you have. Now let's multiply that by 300 or more minutes, because I smoked 30 to 32 about 2 packs a day, a little less, 2 packs. That's a lot of minutes. That's a lot of hours. And part of what is so hard about quitting anything, about being an addict of anything and trying to quit it, is how to fill the time once you aren't doing that anymore. If you've been filling 300 to 500 minutes a day with something, 300 to 500 minutes, 60 minutes is an hour, that is almost 10 hours. I mean, oh my God. So if you're spending, let's say you're doing 300, 6 into 300 is like 5 hours and something. You have to find something to do with those minutes now. Boy, was I doing anything else? Lord, that's crazy. So what I did when I was quitting smoking is I gardened more. I cleaned out every closet in the house. I cleaned out every drawer in the house. I rearranged rooms in the house. I painted the house inside. Oh God, you wouldn't believe some of the colors I did. We did a fuchsia whorehouse pink one time. Nasty. Anyway, I found projects. I found house things to do. I found things to do. And eventually I learned to fill up my time with reading, and scrolling on YouTube came along around then. There's just all these other things took over and took the place of smoking. And I haven't smoked now for almost 17 years. Wouldn't even consider it. It's not even hardly a part of my memories at all. So my time is filled up now. But here's what happened when I started losing weight. Okay, so as much of my time was spent on smoking, that much time or more was spent on focus on food, the food noise. It was planning the next meal, planning the next binge, gathering the stuff for the next meal or binge, trying out different products. What food was I going to eat next? When was I going to eat next? Was I going to hide when I ate, or was I going to eat in front of people? Was I going to eat when the kids were still in school, or was I going to eat after they got home, or was I going to eat both times? Was I going to eat a whole plate of brownies before my husband got home from work and make another one so that he wouldn't know? Yes, I did things like that. Was I going to eat half of a cake and pretend like I dropped it on the floor or something? Yeah, I did that too. I mean, a lot of my time was spent on the focus of food. Well, now all of a sudden, these peptides have taken away even the thoughts of food, and I'm sitting around and I'm finding myself going, oh, here's that book that I said I was going to read, or oh, here's that journal that I said I was going to write, or oh yeah, here's a really easy a tutorial for how to make these really cool crocheted baskets that you roll up blankets like my kids like Seahawks. So I'm doing a green and blue basket, and I'm going to roll up Seahawk blankets for next year for Christmas gifts. I'm going to start on some Christmas presents, some crafts that I've been wanting to do. Because I have a lot of extra time now. I've got a macrame hanging that I'm working on. And I don't believe in waiting until the 1st to start my stuff. So even though you'll be seeing this, if you watch it on the 1st of 2025, I've already started most of these projects in the last week and 2 weeks. I don't like starting all my goals on the 1st. It never works well for me. By the way, I lost 4 pounds this last week for my weigh in. I love going into the new year with a weight loss. That makes me feel good. It lets me know that my goals are cemented firmly. I started the whole low carb thing in 2020. This is my 4th full year of doing what I do. And I'm feeling really good about it. I wasn't feeling really good about it a few months ago, but I'm feeling really good about it right now. Yeah, it's crazy. So things are looking up. Things are looking good. So I don't know if I've actually toyed with the idea of starting another channel. Because I have another channel that I was going to do for something else. I was going to change this one to what to do after the eating. When the eating's gone, what do you do now? Something like that. So I'm toying with that idea, but I'm also toying with what direction I want this channel to take. I've always said I will never take this channel down, and I won't, because this is going to be here for my children and my grandchildren in case they ever just want to go see what Grandma or Mom was doing back in the day. And I do have the food channel, the Vegan Kitchen Magician, and that I am going to make a commitment to post once a week, and I'm going to be trying all different kinds of stuff this year. Last year on our anniversary, I did a Moroccan meal. It was fabulous. I made everything low carb, and it was so good, you guys. This year, I think my husband said he wanted Peruvian. I'm not even sure if that's right, but I think so. So I'm going to be checking into some of that. So I am going to be posting on the more content on the food channel. And also my grandkids that came up to me at Thanksgiving, they said, Grandma, we want you to write us a cookbook. And I was like, oh, I did that years ago. I don't want to do that again. I said, how about if I just add the recipes of the things that you guys want to know how to cook to my channel? So that's what I'll be doing that. So there will be some stuff that it won't necessarily be low carb, but it will be good vegan food for those times that you just feel like something company at home. So that's going to be happening over there. So I got a lot of plans, got a lot of stuff going on. I'm working out. I'm taking the Fit, one of the peptides I'm taking. And I had called my husband. I was taking a bubble bath today. I called him and I said, feel my abs, feel my abs. And he's like, and I said, no, poke them. And he started poking. I said, you can feel the 3 sets of abs under the layer of flappy stuff I still have. I was like, says it'll give you more muscle tone. It must be a real thing because I'm feeling muscular, feeling tough, feeling in shape, feeling ready for this next year. I hope you guys are all ready for this next year. And let me know what you think of my new setup. I've got my desk over in front of the window, so that's natural light coming in there. Just not overly bright, but natural light. I like to start off the new year in a new place. I mean, my desk used to be over there, and then it was back there. Now it's over here. So yeah, if you've watched for any length of time, you know that things change. All right. Ciao. Happy New Year, and blessed everybody.